Good evening. I'd like to call the annual meeting of the electors for Wednesday, August 23rd, 2017 to order. I'm Janet Evans, President of the Franklin Board of Education, and on behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome you to the 2017 annual meeting of the electors. While school boards are charged with the care and control and management of the district, this meeting is for the electors, for you. Tonight you will hear our formal budget presentation. Residents of the district will be able to answer questions, make comments, and will be asked to vote on the tax levy. I'd like to begin by introducing my colleagues on the school board, beginning with the officers. I have Mr. Tim Nielsen, Board Vice President, Mrs. Linda Witkowski, the Treasurer of the Board, and Alan Alexandrovich, Board Clerk. Other board members include Mr. Larry Gamble and Mr. Jeff Lewis, and Mrs. Debbie Larson is not present tonight. Also at our head table are key members of our administrative team. Dr. Judy Miller is our district administrator. Mr. Jim Milzer is Director of Business Services. Mrs. Valley Ellihausen is Director of Human Resources and Public Relations. Mr. Nick Cohn is Director of Teaching and Learning. And Mr. Chris Reuter is Director of Teaching and Learning. And Mrs. Julie Preeman is Director of Pupil Services. We begin tonight, as we always do at our meetings, with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As we move to agenda item number 3, we need a motion to appoint a chair for the meeting, which I would be pleased to do. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
What is your motion?
I move to make Janet Evans the chairperson of our meeting tonight.
I have a motion from Mr. Nielsen to appoint Janet Evans as chairperson of the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Linda Witkowski. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I will at this time appoint Mr. Alan Alexandrovich, clerk of the board, to serve as our recording secretary of the meeting. For items 4 and 5, I'll ask Mr. Alexandrovich, school board clerk, to read the official notice of the annual meeting, the legal requirement to hold the annual meeting, and the minutes of the 2016 annual meeting of the electors, which is published in tonight's handout. However, at this time, do I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the meeting notice and the minutes, and to approve the minutes of the 2016 annual meeting held 1 year ago as published in tonight's handout?
I make that motion to dispense the reading of the minutes.
And everything else?
And what?
And everything else that I...
Yes,
Okay.
as stated.
Okay, there's a motion by Tim Nielsen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Larry Gamble. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. For item 6, I would now like to ask Linda Witkowski, Board Treasurer, to read the end-of-year Treasurer's Report.
The cash balances as of June 30th, 2017, in the general fund, we have $23,050,789. In the debt service fund, $3,918,231.
Thank you. Before we continue with the annual meeting, I would like to call your attention to the rules and procedures for the 2017 annual meeting. The rules may be found in your handout. Please note that the rules state that persons who wish to speak at the annual meeting shall be residents of the Franklin Public School District. Persons who wish to speak shall do so after recognition by the chair and must state their name and address. I now invite Dr. Miller to share the district address.
Thank you. I have the privilege of highlighting during this annual meeting some of the goals and accomplishments of our school district. During the 2016-17 school year, significant work has been done to increase teacher practice and student achievement. Franklin Public Schools is again proven to be one of the best school districts in the state of Wisconsin. Our schools have been rated as significantly exceeding expectations on the state report card. This is the highest possible rating provided by the state and identifies Franklin Public Schools as a high-performing district. Our academic achievements are the result of having a clear focus on academic standards and high expectations for teaching and learning. As responsible educators, our primary goal is to ensure that all students are career and college ready, meaning all students are academically prepared and socially and emotionally competent in their demonstration of knowledge, skills, and habits. This commitment begins at kindergarten and is integral to all of the educational experiences we provide students. During the 2016-17 school year, the district adopted the Teacher College Writing Project. The workshop model, as it's called, provides state-of-the-art tools and methods for teaching literacy. This year, staff from grades K through 6, including our leadership team and students, participated in on-site, shoulder-to-shoulder professional development to ensure successful implementation. Franklin Public Schools continues to lead in providing innovative learning opportunities that align with current and future needs of employers. New to Franklin High School for the 2017-18 school year is the AP Capstone program. AP Capstone is a college board program that equips students with the independent research, collaborative teamwork, and communication skills that are increasingly valued by colleges. AP Capstone is comprised of 2 AP courses, AP Seminar and AP Research. This year, we will be offering AP Seminar, where students will be investigating and analyzing real-world topics to develop and communicate ideas. Our engagement with employers includes placing more students in work settings. Last year, we significantly increased the number of students in job shadowing experiences, placing 180. Our target for next year is higher and includes adding 40 formal student internships. Of enormous significance to our success in preparing our students to be career and college ready was the completion of our Education for Employment Guidebook. This guidebook is the result of the work of community members, including teachers, parents, students, administrators, as well as representatives from higher education, business, and industry. I'm very pleased to convey that in this past year, the success of our academic and career planning has resulted in Franklin High School being recognized by the Wisconsin School Counselor Association as a School of Promise. The Program of Promise Award is given to school counseling programs that exhibit excellence in student academic development, student career development, and student social and emotional development. Technology supports both instructional resources for student learning and district operations. The technology we provide to students is the result of research, planning, and effective implementation. The district currently provides access to devices for all students, as well as personal one-to-one devices for students in grade 5 through 12. An information and technology plan guides the specific goals of the district for digital learning. One goal related to the plan is educator proficiency. Our technology staff has provided robust opportunities for our educators to learn and to be recognized for their use of technology in our district e-newsletter. In addition, this year the team designed a series of webcasts targeted at educating our staff about cybersecurity, a prevalent concern in society and one that does impact our district. In order to have the appropriate technology resources for students, our technology department must ensure that we have the best possible infrastructure. This includes increasing our capacity to use the internet. WISCNet is a Wisconsin membership organization that provides computer network and internet access to K-12. By working with WISCNet and installing new fiber this year, the district will be provided unlimited bandwidth and therefore expand our use and efficiencies of technology. There are many important reasons we take care of our facilities. One important reason is to ensure that our facilities are well-maintained and safe. Annually, a list of planned projects are completed. This past year, one of the larger projects included the grading, concrete, and asphalt work at Southwood Glen. Another very important reason we must take care of our facilities is because our community relies on them. We have a highly successful recreation program that is always seeking more space for its programs. Our facilities must meet the academic needs of our students. As part of our Education for Employment plan and ensuring that students are career and college ready, a new accelerator lab consisting of 3 workspaces will be added to Franklin High School. Students in all academic areas can use this lab to collaborate with their peers and the community and to see their personal creations come to life. The lab was constructed this summer and will be open to students this fall. On November 8, 2016, the community recognized the importance of having a facility that meets our students' academic needs. We are extremely proud and grateful to be breaking ground on the new Forest Park Middle School. The design of Forest Park will provide students in grades 6 through 8 with learning spaces that are correctly sized and equipped for instruction. The new building has a 2-story layout and is planned to accommodate 1,350 students at full capacity. Moving forward, we believe in continuous improvement and will be focusing on a number of areas to better serve children. We will continue to implement Teachers College Workshop model for literacy K-12, now including reading with writing. Following our root cause analysis this last year, we will now begin engaging in professional development and learning around highly effective K-12 mathematics instruction. Systems of support for K-12 will be explored in the context of academic programs that relate to student and social emotional learning as well. Advancing academic and career planning and students' internships will be a priority. Improving school culture, which would include engaging staff with building goals and improvement goals, will also be a priority. And finally, we will be stewards of the citizens in the oversight of the new Forest Park Middle School construction. In order for children to be fully functioning, responsible members of society, they must be properly educated. The support provided at the local, state, and federal level make it possible. Franklin Public Schools has a long history of consistently providing an exceptional education experience for students while remaining within budget. In the 2017-18 school year, we look forward to continued partnership with the community that benefits our collective future. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now I'm looking for a motion to recess the annual meeting for the 2017-18 school district and recreation budget hearing. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Jeff Lewis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Linda Witkowski. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We are now in the budget hearing, and I invite Dr. Miller and Mr. Milzer to present the school district budget.
There's a copy of everything that will be on the screen in the handout tonight and also online on board docs so that you can look at it. I know it gets kind of small up here on the screen. There's a lot of information in the document. We won't go through all of it. And there's even more information online in the budget area, especially in the first draft of the budget presentation document. But I'll start by discussing budget assumptions tonight. At this time of the year, most of the information we need to put together the budget has to be estimated because we don't have that information. And one of those is enrollment. And our enrollment is important because it's the main factor in the revenue limit calculation. Looking at 17-18, we estimate the resident enrollment to increase by 10 students, and the board approved 56 open enrollment seats earlier in the year. As we look at state aid and revenue from that, we're looking at getting additional equalized aid because our increase in our value was 2.46% this year versus a statewide average of 2.9%. So the state views us as slightly poorer than other communities and gives us more aid, thus the name equalization aid. The governor proposed the 17-19 budget and included additional funding for schools, $200 in 17-18, $204 in 18-19, that's per student. But it hasn't gone anywhere. There was consideration for a while about reducing that from some of the legislators, then it came back to, it seemed like they were going to put that through, and then a little thing called Foxconn happened, and that got set aside entirely. So we're waiting for that to kind of get done. I think we've seen in the paper the 28th that would be taken up again, and we're looking forward to hopefully having that go through. Even with that additional aid, it's only a 1.6% increase in total revenue for us for the year. As we look at one of the other factors, benefits, we bid out our health and dental insurance this year. We took the lowest bid and also made plan design changes to lower the cost and put a focus on wellness. And by doing that, we had a 4% increase in the health insurance, and our dental insurance actually went down 5.9%, which is always nice to see. Now let's take a look at where our revenue comes from. For next year, as we look at the graph, the red is the local non-tax revenue, the green is the local tax revenue, and the blue is the state and federal aid revenue. The green and the blue together make up the revenue limit, and it's driven by the blue, mainly the state aid. As that blue gets larger, the green gets smaller, and vice versa. So you can see that over half of our revenue does come from the local tax levy. Now, if we look at the expenditure side, the blue section is salaries and benefits. The yellow is purchase services, and the red is other, such as supplies. And it becomes apparent right away that education is a labor-intensive business, and that's why that section is so large. We have some estimates of the tax levy. Based on our estimates of state aid, if we look at the tax levy for educating children, long-term debt, and recreation, the total we project to increase 1.5%, which is actually very good, especially this year. Our increase really is in long-term debt because we have to begin paying back the funds borrowed for the construction of Forest Park. And when we went to the public and gave them information on what it could cost to build this, it was up to $65 per $100,000 of assessed value. And we actually came in at $18 per 100,000. So we could have had a 5.4% increase just from debt service, and in total we're only at 1.5, which is excellent news. Looking at dollars and cents, that comes to $18.48 per $100,000 of assessed value. And then you would just multiply that by whatever your property relates to by hundred thousands. The caution is very important here because these, again, are estimates. The assessed value hasn't been determined by the city yet. That'll be determined at the end of November. The number of students for 17-18 is unknown. We won't know that until the end of September. The amount of state aid hasn't been determined. We won't find that out until mid-October, and the state budget hasn't been finalized. But outside of that, everything is rock solid. The next page is the tax rate history. You can see that over time we've had a 49% reduction in our tax rate, and that we're still historically low at this point. And that concludes the budget presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Milzer. This is a budget hearing. At this time, if there are any residents who have any comments about the budget or questions for Mr. Milzer, you could stand and give your name and address and address the board. Is there anyone who would like to speak?
I'm Doris Sargent. I live at 8861 South Lakeshore Street. My two children went to Franklin Public Schools and graduated from public schools. I have no one in public schools. One question, how many open enrollment students do we have?
In total,
Yes.
about 425, I'd say, estimating.
Because I do hear from some of my neighbors that comment that classes are being made bigger and bigger to enable us to have more open enrollment. They don't always like that. But my children are in the classroom, so that has been
Right.
as a problem, you know. And another thing is, are we watching how many open enrollment students are getting on buses that the taxpayers of Franklin pay for?
Yes, the open enrollment program itself, if they meet the criteria and we have open spots, we take them. But we only have open spots in classes that are smaller, so we only put them into those classes to help us pay for the resident students really in that class to be
And
educated.
transportation.
And transportation, we generally don't let them get on the bus, but they can pay, if we have room on the bus, the cost of transportation to get on the bus. So that helps to pay for transportation.
Because I live at the crossroads, if anyone knows where I live on 35th Street. Across the street is Oak Creek, Franklin. I live in Franklin. And for quite a few years, I have reported, because I'm a taxpayer for 45 years here, that students are getting on the buses going down Franklin Terrace, which is in Oak Creek. A lot of people don't realize that that's Oak Creek, Franklin, not unified. And the next thing I want to say is, I think it's terrible that you don't have more residents here. You have to think of how many people do you have to put this budget in process. I mean, to think that we've got a larger and larger enrollment of students, new houses, families, I think it's terrible. I think it's tragic that no one else is concerned.
If we could just have Dr. Miller address your issue about the open enrollment students in the classrooms, because they don't take additional spaces, so maybe you could address that.
Sure. As Mr. Milzer had mentioned, we place the children where the class sizes are smaller. And if for some reason the class size were to increase because of residents, we would move the open enrollment children to another school perhaps where the class size wasn't so big. So it isn't such that we have to add another teacher or the class gets large as a result of the open enrollment children.
I mention that because people actually see their children in classrooms, that the enrollment's going up
Right.
because of open enrollment, and they find out that children, just a concern me, I don't know, the children, but that is a concern with quite a few people who are not here tonight.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Are there any other comments about the budget from residents? I do want to point out that Representative Ken Skronsky is attending our meeting tonight. Thank you for attending.
Hello. I finally got a night off, so I figured I'd finally come down and see how everybody's doing. There's some new faces up there I haven't met. It's nice to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And since there are no more comments then, at this time then, I'd like to close the budget hearing. And we will reconvene the annual meeting. For item 10, then for agenda item 10, do I now have a motion to approve the 2017-18 school tax levy for operations in the amount of $28,694,865? Okay, again, could you say your name and address, please?
My name is Dora, D-O-R-A, Sargent, S-A-R-G-N-T, 8860
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, can you just, Megan, you have her name, correct? Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now I'm looking for, do I have a motion to approve the 27-18 school tax levy for debt service in the amount of $4,646,004?
So moved.
Okay,
We can vote.
yeah, you can vote,
Yeah.
your residents. A motion by Jeff Lewis,
Second.
second by Tim Nielsen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the Community Education Recreation Tax Levy in the amount of $573,276?
So moved.
Motion by Alan Alexandrovich,
Second.
second by Jeff Lewis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And item 11, the electors at last year's annual meeting approved school board salaries in the amount of $4,000 annually per board member. Do I have a motion to approve school board salaries for the 27-18 school year?
So moved.
Motion by Nick Cohen, in what amount, please?
$4,000.
Motion for $4,000 annually per board member. Is there a second? Second by Anita Sundstrom. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Do I have a motion to schedule the 2018 annual meeting of the electors on Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018, at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Education and Community Center?
So moved.
Motion by Tim Nielsen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Larry Gamble. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn the 2017 annual meeting of the electors of the Franklin Public School District?
So moved.
Motion by Tim Nielsen. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Linda Witkowski. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned at 6:32 PM.